welcome to another edition of the Sports Block. I'm Charlie Reeder here tonight for a great Friday night game between the Holly Springs Hawks and the Middle Creek Mustangs here at Mustang Stadium. It's a pretty cool night here, and we're going to have a great matchup between two rivals in the SWAC. The Hawks coming in with a 7-0 record, one of the best teams we've seen in the state this year, and Middle Creek hosting with a 5-3 record, haven't done as well for their side. So Holly Springs visiting tonight. They've just had a phenomenal season. Just last week, a dominant win against Fuquay at home, 48-14. They've been led by running back Derek Coombs, who has just been phenomenal, running for over 800 yards this season in his 7 games with 11 touchdowns. He has just been a star, and because of that, Holly Springs has led a very running efficient offense. Also with quarterback Brock Wills, who is also a very good runner and very mobile. So Middle Creek, on the other hand, you're going to see more of a passing game from them. Obviously, quarterback Sean Brown, one of the best throwers Middle Creek has seen. He's thrown for 1,500 yards this year, compared to Wills' only 450 for Holly Springs side. So Middle Creek, you're going to expect to see a lot of passes, where Holly Springs, you're going to expect to see a lot of runs. So that's what to look out for tonight. Obviously, also on the Middle Creek side, running back Cole Prenovo, definitely a factor that the Mustangs take in every week. Along with their great wide receiver core, with Darius Suggs, Darius Boone, Tate Jones, Jamori Ellis, some great wide receivers from the Mustangs as they're coming out of the tunnel here, led by Coach Pritchard and mascot, the Mustang. So Middle Creek just last week didn't have the best finish to their game at Garner. They dropped it 29-21. It was a fought-out battle, and Middle Creek had a great chance to come back at the end, but they just came up short down to the last play of the game, and that dropped their record down to 5-3 of the season. Obviously, some other losses against Wake Forest and the doubleheader, as some may call it, against Apex Friendship that they dropped. Holly Springs, like I said, unbeaten on the season, 7-0. They beat some really solid teams, but they've only had one win against a team above 500. They've been a factor to make teams worse. Green Hope, that one team that they played above a record of 500, and they only won that game 29-28. So Holly Springs hasn't really played the best competition. Middle Creek had to play Wake Forest, and we know how that one went. But Holly Springs hasn't had to play those really dominant teams, which may be tough to see tonight because Middle Creek's been accustomed to those teams with great O-lines and great running backs. Some other factors to look out for tonight. Punt returner for the Mustangs, Braden Harrison, he's been phenomenal this year. He's only been able to return 9 punts in their 8 games, but those 9 punts have gone for 260 yards and 3 touchdowns. We remember some great ones against Heritage to start off the year, and they're trickling it down throughout the season. So whenever Middle Creek's going to be returning that ball, you got to look out for number 25, and also his brother Owen Harrison as that slot receiver, number 24. He's gone for over 200 yards this year on the receiving end, and has the second most receptions on this Middle Creek offense. Like I said earlier, also, Darius Suggs, he's just been phenomenal again. 7 touchdowns this year. We saw a great catch from him in the right side of the end zone last night. And Middle Creek is a pretty healthy team. The only injury out for tonight, number 74, Junior Barrera, he's out with the concussion tonight, so you're not going to be seeing him on the O-line. One of the best senior offensive lineman for Middle Creek. Holly Springs coming into this game very healthy, not too many injuries affecting them. Like I said, they're going to be led by Brock Wills at quarterback and Derek Coombs at the running back position. They also have another running back that they go to a lot, number 8, Dylan Waskey, and Waskey, he's that RB2 for the Hawks, but he is a very two-way offensive player. You're going to see him lining up and maybe in the slot sometimes. He's got 54 carries on this year, so about half the carries and snaps that Coombs has been getting, but he also has 9 receptions for 203 yards. He's the leading wide receiver for Holly Springs in terms of yards, so you got to watch out for number 6 and 8. You're going to be seeing them lined up behind the quarterback, maybe to the side in a fullback position, but Holly Springs, is going to be playing a very run and short play offense. They're going to play a lot of screens, jet sweeps, handoffs, and hope their O-line can make those big plays where, like I said, Middle Creek's going to be going for those passing offense. So Middle Creek will be kicking off to Holly Springs to start off the game. they deferred and wanted that ball in the second half, which we've seen a lot from Coach Randy Ragland. It's going to be Kyle Ely kicking off. He's been very solid this year, both in the punting and kicking game. And he's going to be kicking off to number 6 and 8, like I said, Coombs and Waskey. Kick goes to the left side. It's going to be Coombs who takes it. And he's just going to hand it off to Waskey at the 5-yard line. Luke McDonald misses a tackle, but it's going to be taken down at the 20-yard line by Michael Macaluso. So here comes the Holly Springs Hawks offense. Coombs and Waskey were the two receiving that play, and you're going to be seeing them on the field here as the Hawks are placed at the 21-yard line. So John Fraiolo is going to be lined up at the bottom of your screen, guarded by Braden Harrison, and here's Wills. Coombs moves over, and it's going to be a handoff for a gain of about 4 yards there to Dylan Waskey. So as I keep repeating, this 2 running back offense is just so tough to beat. You can see it looked like Coombs might come over for a sweep play, but it's handed off to Waskey. So Middle Creek has to play both those running backs. They know how great they are. And it can be either or. Like I said, you know, it goes about for every 2 snaps Coombs gets, Waskey gets one for himself. So 2nd and 7 here for Holly Springs. Only 1 wide receiver out wide. As Kyle Morgan's in motion, but it's going to be handed off to Coombs, and he's going to be short of the first down marker for a gain of a couple.
Initial hit by Biggs.
3rd down and 4 here for Hawks.
You got 3rd down. Come on, Creek Crazy. I need to hear you tonight.
Holly Springs has come in 2 running formations and 2 running plays to start off this game. They've only had 1 wide receiver wide, and we're going to see that again as Fraiolo is going to be at the top of your screen. We're also going to see Kyle Morgan, the tight end, number 84, showing up at the top. And it's going to be a fumble by Waskey. He drops down on it, and it's bouncing around, and it looks like Middle Creek's got the fumble. And Middle Creek has hopped on it. And what a play by the Mustangs as it seemed to be fumbled around. It was just like that first play from the Hawks. It was a fake to Coombs, handoff to Waskey. And the Mustangs are going to take over inside of the 20-yard line. But there is an injured Mustang on the field. So we will be taking an injury timeout. And we are back with the Sports Block as Middle Creek recovered a fumble inside of the 20-yard line as we are now in the Cary Orthopedic red zone here for the Mustangs. And Sean Brown and his offense in the red out on the field. He's got Cole Prenovo to his left. And it's going to be a screen play to Prenovo, and he's going to drop that one as Holly Springs thinks it's a fumble, but it's just going to be an incomplete pass. So before that injury timeout, we had Jamori Highsmith going down, but he was able to walk off the field, so all is good there for Highsmith and the Mustangs. But Ben Lever was the one who came down on that fumble, so it looked like that ball was bouncing around a good chunk, and it was Ben Lever who came down on it as the ball, you know, it was snapped it around the 30-yard line, but it made its way back to the 20, where Middle Creek now on the 19-yard line. They have a 2nd and 10. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Prenovo still next to Brown. It's going to be handed off to Prenovo, and he's going to go up that left-hand side, and he's got a lot of blocking, and he's going to be down at the 12-yard line. A good run by Prenovo. A great job by the Middle Creek offensive line there. So you can see a lot of open space on that left-hand side for Prenovo to get on, and it was the linebackers from Holly Springs that got over to him for the tackle. as Middle Creek now is a 3rd and 3. We got 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It's going to be a play action, and it's going to be dropped by Kyle Ely. Incomplete pass there. That was a quick pass there. And looks like the Middle Creek offense might stay on the field here. So they're looking over to Ragland to see what the call is going to be. And they will stay out on the field. So a 4th and 3 on the 12-yard line for the Mustangs. Sean Brown and his offense stay out on the field. They have 15 seconds to work with on the clock. And he looks back over to Coach Ragland as the play clock is coming down. So they're playing out the clock. And a flag is going to be called, a delay of game. And a lot of confusion there for the Mustangs.
Nope. Correction. Timeout, Middle Creek.
And it will be a timeout for Middle Creek after the confusion on the play. So heading into this field goal opportunity, we'll be back with the sports block. So after what was a lot of confusion there on the 4th down, the Middle Creek offense is still on the field on the 12-yard line. So a big play for the Mustangs here. They were able to call the timeout. So still on that 12-yard line, 4th and 3. You have Kyle Ely and Darius Suggs at the top of your screen. Jamori Ellis on the bottom. Cole Prenovo next to Brown. Brown's going to drop back. He's going to be looking to his left, looking for Jamori Ellis. And they rule him out of bounds. And it looked like he really might have got that left foot down. But Holly Spring is going to get the turnover on downs. And Coach Ragland is heated now, as it looks like Jamori Ellis's left foot was in bounds, but his right foot might have touched it at the same time out of bounds. So the possession will switch to the Hawks. They're going to be situated on the 12-yard line. Middle Creek did a great job to start off this game on defense. 2 great stops on the run and then a fumble. Wills is going to hand it off to Coombs. And a helmet is down of James Strobush, but it's going to be a gain of a couple here for Coombs. So that's the 3rd time we've seen that play on the 4 opportunities for the Hawks. They have Waskey in motion from left to right, top to bottom of your screen, but they hand it off to Coombs. So it's been vice versa that a couple times. So we've seen each running back get a chance to get the ball in to do the fake, but that jet sweep fake, which turns into a draw, you're going to be seeing a lot tonight as they're set up in that same formation again. 2nd and 4 for Holly Springs as Morgan's in motion, but it's going to be fumbled by Coombs, and it's going to be got by the Mustangs again. Middle Creek recovers again. Derek Coombs with another fumble, and it's just an exact replica of what happened on the last drive. And Deshaun Biggs recovers the fumble. And there have been some handoff problems from the Hawks early in this game. Middle Creek offense on the field quickly as they're on the 19-yard line again in that Cary Orthopedic red zone. Brown, play action to Prenovo, and he's going to be looking deep to Jamori Ellis, and it's going to be just over his head. So 2 turnovers already for the Hawks inside of 4 minutes. Both of those coming on the same type of play. It's a fake jet sweep draw. And Derek Coombs, the lucking out of both of those. So the star running back for the Hawks not coming off to a great start. But also Middle Creek has done a very good job jumping on both those balls. So 2nd and 10 here for the Mustangs on the 19. It's going to be a play action to Prenovo again, and Sean Brown is sacked. A great play by number 42, Timothy Inman, the senior linebacker, and he got to Brown in no time. And that's going to put Middle Creek on the 25-yard line. So
It's going to be a loss of about 7.
a very big sack there for
3rd and
Inman,
17.
which may push the Mustangs out of field goal range. We saw them go for it on 4th down at the 12-yard line. Now they're on the 25, 3rd and 16. 4 wide receivers out wide. Brown's going to be looking to his left, and he's going to get sacked by number 22, Austin Stroop.
Flag on the play.
But there is a flag down on the
Brown is
field.
taken down in the backfield by number 22.
Referee places the ball at the 32-yard line.
Stroop.
And it was on Middle Creek and was declined. Putting Middle Creek
Gonna bring up
on the
4th down for the
32-yard
Mustangs.
line. 4th down here for the Mustangs. It's a 4th and 24,
4th and mile.
and they are going to be switching to the special teams unit. And it's going to be a punt from Kyle Ely. So we've seen some solid punts from Ely this year. He's done a great job as no Holly Springs returners are back to get it. And there's 2 Mustangs going for the punt, and it's caught down on the 1-yard line.
Is taken down at the
And that is a
1-yard line.
phenomenal job there by Michael Macaluso as he
Awesome job, special teams.
stops that one right before it gets into the end zone. A great punt from Kyle Ely and Mac
Holly Springs takes over on
stopping
offense.
that one right before it gets to the end zone. So Middle Creek has put the Holly Springs Hawks into some terrible positions to start this game. They were situated on the 12-yard line, and now they are on the 1-yard line, pinned back into their own end zone. So great job there from the special teams unit of the Mustangs. Just defense as a whole has been great for them. As Wills is under center. He's going to hand it off for a gain of 2 by Coombs. So the Hawks get themselves off of the goal line, as they're now on the 4-yard line after a gain of 3 from Coombs, which opens up their opportunities, but they are still very much pinned back. Holly Springs looking in that same formation.
2nd and 9.
Will's under center. He's got a fullback and a running back behind him. And it's going to be a toss to Coombs to the left, and Coombs isn't going to be able to break a tackle, and he's going to be taken down at around the 10-yard
On the
line,
left side.
just short of the first down marker. So
Taken
it's
down by
3rd
Luke
and short for
McDonald.
Holly Springs. You would expect to see another running play where they only need a yard or 2. They've been running them all night.
3rd and 2.
As Wills is still under
Go
center, no
Crazy.
wide receivers out wide. And it will be a handoff, and the question is he there?
Okay, taken down by a herd of
And
Mustangs.
Coombs looks to have gotten the first down after the
Pretty
placement
good
by the
for a
refs.
First down for your Holly Spring Hawks.
So the Hawks do a good job getting off of their own end zone. 3 running plays get them 11 yards and the first down, as this clock has been ticking down inside the halfway mark of the first quarter. 5:40 remaining. Holly Springs, you know, with that running-based offense, they take a lot of time off the clock, and plays a pivotal role in the way they beat their opponents, just bringing that clock down as fast as they can. So they're more in a comfortable position here, but it's going to be another handoff. And it's another fumble by Coombs, and it's picked up by Michael Macaluso, and it's returned into the end zone.
That's going to be a Mustangs touchdown. Number 27.
Excuse me, it was Luke McDonald on the fumble. So the Holly Springs, 3 fumbles and 3 recovered by the Mustangs. This one returned into the end zone. Phenomenal job by Luke McDonald.
Healy in the kick.
Did not botch that ball at all as he scooped it up and headed straight into the end zone as Middle Creek takes a 6-0 lead. And there will be a flag on the extra point
Flag on
attempt,
the play.
as it looked like there was an offsides jump by number 20 on Holly Springs.
Defense offside. Decline.
So Luke McDonald with a defensive touchdown. A big start to Middle Creek this game. Their defense has looked phenomenal. As here's the extra point attempt. Campion White the holder, and Kyle Ely the kicker. And that one is through the uprights, and it is a 7-0 lead for the Mustangs with 5:16 remaining in the first quarter. We will be right back with the Sports Block. Welcome back to the Sports Block as Middle Creek will be kicking off to Holly Springs after a defensive touchdown. Luke McDonald with a fumble return for the scoop and score. So 5:16 remaining in this first quarter, and Middle Creek has been phenomenal on defense. There have been 3 fumbles from this Holly Springs offense, all on running plays. Derek Coombs and Dylan Waskey, the running backs, affected by those plays. As Kyle Ely will kick off to the Hawks. Received by Coombs. As he takes that right-hand side, tries to take on some Middle Creek defenders and is down at around the 25-yard line. So good job by Coombs getting some extra yards there. And the Hawks will come out on their 25. So this Holly Springs offense has had a lot of struggles. They really haven't gotten past the 30-yard line. There have been 3 fumbles, like I said. The Middle Creek defense has done a phenomenal job picking up each of those fumbles, the last resulting in a scoop and score. But the Hawks have just been coming in a lot of under center formations with some running backs behind them, behind Wills. This one has got 3 wide receivers. Kyle Morgan to the left. It's going to be Waskey in motion, and it will be a toss to Coombs, who takes the left-hand side. He's got some good blockers, and he's going to break a couple tackles, and he's going to take that left-hand side. And it looks like he might have been out at around the 50-yard line. A very good job there. Derek Coombs.
It's going to be good for a Hawks first down.
And they're going to rule him down at their own 47-yard line just before he went out of bounds. So the biggest play of the night there for the Hawks. And they are accustomed to those big rushing plays. Derek Coombs has ran in 6 of his 7 games for over 100 yards, and in each of those games he has had a run for over 30 yards. So different formation here for the Hawks. As Waskey's in motion, and it's going to be a jet sweep to Waskey, and he's going to be down for a gain of 1. And there's a little bit of argument here between the two teams. It looked like Braden Harrison got into a scuffle as he comes off the field, and Jamori Ellis comes on.
It's going to be good for a yard, 2nd and 9 for the Hawks.
So the 1-yard rush there by Waskey puts the Hawks on their own 48. As Coombs is behind Wills. Morgan's in motion, and it's handed off to Coombs, but he is taken down. What a tackle by Quincy Pugh. He just swung Coombs around and threw him to the ground. But he did get a couple yards after the tackle, and he's put on the 49-yard line, the Mustangs' 49-yard line. And it is going to be a 3rd and 6 here for the Hawks. First time they've gotten past midfield, whereas Middle Creek's been placed past midfield on every single one of their drives. So a big 3rd and 6 here for the Hawks. Coombs behind Wills. As Waskey's in motion, but it's going to be called before the play. There will be a flag. Looks like Waskey might have had a legal formation before the play. Coombs is talking to the refs. And it will be on the offense. False start, and it's going to push them back 5 yards, and it's going to be a 3rd and 11 now on their own 44-yard line. So, and what was a decent opportunity there for the Hawks, they're pushed back. Now a 3rd and long here. Position on their own side of the field again, as the play clock keeps ticking down as we enter 3.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Middle Creek with a 7-0 lead after a Luke McDonald fumble return for a touchdown. As 3rd and 11 here for the Hawks. Waskey's in motion. It's going to be handed off to Coombs, though, and he's not able to break tackles for the first, but he does get enough to put them in a position to go for it on 4th down for a gain of about 7.
Initially touched by Pugh, number 9. It's going to bring up 4th down.
So the Holly Springs offense stays on the field. This quarterback, Brock Wills, goes to talk to his coach about the play. So it's a 4th and 3 for Holly Springs on the Middle Creek 46-yard line. Middle Creek was stopped on their 4th down opportunity, and Holly Springs has got their first at it tonight. Middle Creek looking to expect a run here. It's going to be handed off to Coombs, and he's down just at the 43-yard line. Did he get the first? The referee's positioning him right with that marker.
That's going to be close to 1st down.
And they're going to give him the 1st down, so Derek Coombs fights for every inch. Gets the first to continue this Holly Springs drive. They are now on the 43-yard line of Middle Creek. So good effort there from that Middle Creek defense. They were ready for the run. They jumped on it, but Coombs did a very good job getting every extra yard. Will's got Coombs behind him here. Waskey's in motion, and it's going to be a toss to the right to Coombs. And good blocking allows him to get 5 or 6 yards there. And that toss has been, definitely a strong play for Holly Springs tonight all throughout the season. There was a fumble on one earlier in this game, but they've loved going back to it both on the left and the right-hand sides. It seems like automatic yards for the Hawks. So 2nd and 5 here for Holly Springs on that 38-yard line. This has been a long drive consisting of a lot of runs and really no pass plays. It's Tyler Griffin's position on the left, but it's going to be handed off to Coombs. A little weird there receiving it, but he gets a couple blocks, takes the left-hand side, and he's going to get the 1st down. A very good job by Derek Coombs, but it's kind of weird going behind the center there. It was a little off-centered on the handoff, and Coombs kind of ran into his quarterback, but a good blocking from the tight end, number 84, Kyle Morgan, and his O-line allowed Coombs to get the 1st down and puts him on the 30-yard line as we're heading into the final minute of this first quarter, 1:20 on the clock. And Wills wasn't ready for the snap, and it's going to go behind him, and it's going to be a fight for the ball. It's jumped on by Holly Springs, but he lost it at the last second.
Willis jumps on the ball back at the 47.
But Brock Wills does jump on it at the 46-yard line. He was not ready for the snap. It went over his head, and a big loss of 16 yards there for Holly Springs. A miscommunication between the offense. A 2nd and 26 now for Holly Springs as we head into our final minute. 50 seconds left on the clock as we're ticking down. So those of you at home, we have 50 and now 45 seconds on the clock, ticking down. And a timeout is called by Holly Springs with 46 seconds on the clock. Middle Creek still leading 7-0, and we'll be right back with the Sports Block. welcome back to the Sports Block as Holly Springs Hawks drive was altered after a snap over the head of Brock Wills. He was not prepared for it, and it puts them in a 2nd and 26 at their 46-yard line. Morgan's in motion, and it's going to be handed off to Waskey. And he's going to break through the middle, break a couple tackles, and he is taken down at the 25-yard line. Tackled by Michael Macaluso, but he did a very good job splitting the seam there. Still short of the first down marker, but a big run there by Dylan Waskey, the junior from Holly Springs. So the game clock is shorter than the play clock, and it looks like Holly Springs is going to be running out this first quarter as we head into our final 10 seconds, and they're going to be waiting it out. So a 7-0 lead from the Mustangs resulted from a Luke McDonald scoop and score early in the quarter, but Middle Creek has that 7-0 lead. As we head into our first quarter advertisements. A team of board-certified physicians and physical therapists ready to get you back on your feet and back in the game. Carey Orthopedics, we are experts in motion. The Butcher's Market, the go-to butcher shop in the Triangle for premium meats and specialty grocery. And Fritz Orthodontics, offering outstanding orthodontic care for the entire family. Fritz Orthodontics. We'll be back for the second quarter at Mustang Stadium. And welcome back to the Sports Block as we head into our second quarter. Holly Springs has had a phenomenal long drive, which has just seemed like it took up the entire first quarter. But the Mustangs have a 7-0 lead here after a Luke McDonald scoop and score, but a big 3rd and 5 here for Holly Springs' position on the 25-yard line. Wills hands it off to Coombs, and it looks like he was short of the first down marker, but close enough to go for 4th, as it is a 4th and 1 on the 21. So the Holly Springs offense stays out there, and it's not the first time we've seen them on 4th down. They've been going for a lot of runs tonight, and they've kept that up on 4th down. So 4th and 2 here. Coombs behind Wills. And a big O-line that's going to be handed off to Coombs. He's going to be able to break a couple tackles, still going after it and taken down at the 14-yard line. Gets the first down and a lot more and puts Holly Springs into the red zone.
First down for the Hawks.
So Coombs, like we expected, has been given the majority of the snaps tonight, and the rushing game as a whole has just received all of the snaps, it seems. There's been only a couple passing plays, and they've not worked out into the Hawks' favor. So Coombs and Waskey, the two running backs, like we said, been getting all the opportunities here tonight. It's Coombs is to Wills' left here. But Wills is going to drop back, attempt to pass. It's caught by number 7, taken down at the 10-yard line. It's John Farello, the senior from Holly Springs. Farello is taken down at the 10-yard line for about a gain of 4.
Second and 5 for the Hawks.
So Holly Springs now inside of the 10-yard line, by far the closest in they've gotten to the end zone. They've had a phenomenal drive here, taking out what seems to be a lot of time, as it's going to be a toss here to Coombs on the right. He tries to split through the middle, and he's taken down at around the 5-yard line. So did he get the first is the question. And They will move the chains, and it's going to be a 1st and goal for Holly Springs on the 5-yard line. So a big chance here for the Hawks, and I'm sure everyone knows what they're going to be planning on this one. As Adrian Bronco is positioned way outside of the play, and it's handed off to Coombs, and he easily takes that one to the end zone, splitting the seam beautifully. And Derek Coombs, another touchdown, puts himself on the board tonight, 7-6. Great run, finishing off in an amazing drive, which started on the 1-yard line. So a 99-yard drive for Holly Springs, finishing off with a touchdown. As the special teams unit comes on, and Peyton Sowers attempts the extra point. Snap is high, and Sowers puts it right through the uprights. So a great drive from Holly Springs, make it 7-7 with 9:31 remaining in the 2nd quarter. We will be right back with the Sports Block. Welcome back to the Sports Block as Holly Springs, after a great drive and touchdown, will be kicking off to Middle Creek for the first true drive for the Mustangs tonight. As Sowers boots that one high. It's going to be taken by Darius Boone, and he's going to break a couple tackles, and he's going to be taken down at around the 38-yard line, 38, 39-yard line. A great job by Darius Boone, getting every yard there.
Down by number 52 by the Hawks.
So the Middle Creek offense will be coming onto the field, and not after a fumble, as that's happened 3 times tonight already. So position on the 38-yard line is Sean Brown's offense. He's got 3 wide receivers to his left, 1 to his right, and Cole Prenovo in the backfield. Brown drops back, and he's got 2 on him easily, and Holly Springs wants maybe an intentional grounding call. They're not going to get it, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. A good job by Brown there, avoiding the sack, as he was looking for Therius Suggs on the bottom of your screen on a little 5-yard out route, but great coverage there by number 5, DeAndre Partridge. Forced Brown to throw it out of bounds, as we repeat, 2nd and 10 on the 38-yard line for Middle Creek. Same formation here for the Mustangs. As Brown's going to hand this, it's going to be a fake actually, and he's going to take this one himself, and he's going to get it for a gain of about 4 or 5 yards. So great job there from Sean Brown, faking out myself, as it looked like he was going to hand that one to Cole Prenovo. But he gets a couple yards, which puts them in a 3rd and 6 position on their 42-yard line. Middle Creek's got Owen Harrison, Kyle Illy, and Jamori Ellis at the top of your screen. Darius Suggs at the bottom. Cole Prenovo in the backfield. Illy's in motion. Brown drops back, looks to his right, and that one is way over the head of Therius Suggs. That one looks like it almost got into the student section, and it will be 4th down for Middle Creek as the special teams unit comes out. So a short and unsuccessful drive there for the Mustangs. Possibly a bit of miscommunication there on the 3rd down, as Kyle Illy will go out to punt. So this time Holly Springs learned from their mistake, has a man back to receive. It's Derek Coombs. As Illy's got a high punt, lands it around the 31-yard line out of bounds.
He's going to be at the 27.
And the referee's going to give him a great placement at the
Correction,
28-yard line. And that's going to be moved up to the 35-yard line.
35.
As some referees around the middle of the field are talking about the play. And there is going to be a penalty on Middle Creek. It's going to be a false start.
On the kicking team. Looks like we're going to re-kick.
It's going to be a replay of the kick as Middle Creek's going to be pushed back 5 yards. Coombs going to be positioned at around the 25-yard line to receive this one.
Coombs back to receive for the Hawks. Ely in the punt
So,
for the Mustangs.
Derek Coombs, obviously a massive threat in the punt return game as he moves up a lot out to the 35-yard line. Kyler Lee back to punt. His last one was phenomenal at the 1-yard line. It's a low punt, and it's going to bounce it around the 37, gets a decent roll, and it's going to be down at the 31-yard line. So Ely does a good job avoiding a return from Coombs, as it looks like there's a flag on the opposite side of the field at the 35. And what? It's going to be another false start on Middle Creek, and Holly Springs is going to decline this one, avoid another re-kick.
Hawks take over 1st and 10 on the 31.
And Holly Springs offense will take over at the 31-yard line after the couple of punts. As Coach Randy Ragland is telling everything to the ref, but he doesn't get what he wants out of that. So Holly Springs back on the field. We saw them have a phenomenal 99-yard drive, taking up most of the first quarter and 2.5 minutes into the second. We have 8:14 left on the clock here. 7-7 ball game. And it's going to be a fake jet sweep as Wills throws it to Coombs, and that one's going to be dropped. So Derek Coombs with his first target of the night, and that one's going to be dropped. And that's a play that we haven't seen tonight. So it looks like it's going to be that jet sweep draw, but it's actually a jet sweep play action pass where Derek Coombs goes out, and he was wide open. He could have got first down and more on that one, but he drops the ball, which will keep it at a 2nd and 10 here for Middle Creek. Adrian Blanco and Tyler Griffin out wide for the wide receivers. Coombs to Will's left as Frailo's in motion, but it's going to be handed off to Coombs, and he's just breaking a bunch of tackles, and he's going to get a first down. That's going to be a gain of 10 yards. Great run by Derek Coombs.
Taken up by number 91, Stephen Holland.
So that will move the chains as Coombs, one of the big things from him you see every game is those yards after contact. You know, he does a great job breaking off defenders, and he showed that there, as it looks like he might be taken down back where the play originally started, but he gets 10 yards out of it, and obviously the first down. So the 42-yard line here for Holly Springs. We've seen a run game from them all night, as Frailo's going to be on that slot to the left. As Wills drops back, he's going to scramble to his right, but he's going to be taken down for a sack for a loss of a couple.
Several Mustangs.
And he wasn't able to make much out of that play, as it looks like Quincy Pugh and Ben Lever combined for the sack there, along with Stephen Holland. So a 2nd and 11 here after the sack from Middle Creek, which was, you know, one of the several times that Holly Springs has actually dropped back for a pass tonight, and it didn't result in anything special there. So a 2nd and 11. As Frailo's in motion, but it's going to be handed off to Coombs, and he's going to get a gain of a couple as he's down at the 44-yard line. So it's going to be a 3rd and 8 for Holly Springs here on their own side of the field. So Holly Springs obviously wants the first down here, but they would like to get something which would allow them to go for the fourth, which is, we've seen from them a couple times tonight. They run the ball over and over and over, which allows them to continuously move the chains. But 3 wide receivers here. Dylan Waskey, one of them, in the slot. And it's going to be a toss to Coombs on the left. And it's going to be a great tackle there by Ben Lever, which shuts down the Holly Springs offense at the 47-yard line, so it's a gain of 3. And the Creek Crazies are all hyped about this one, all in their pink tonight for the pink out tonight. The Creek Crazies were selling shirts all week. The proceeds going to breast cancer charity, so a great job by the Creek Crazies doing that, and it has been a phenomenal show out here for the Mustang crowd, all decked out in pink. So the Holly Springs special teams is out to punt, as Braden Harrison is out to receive the punt. And this one's a little high, and it drops it around the 25-yard line and gets a decent roll, and it will be taken down at the 17. So a good punt there puts Middle Creek inside of their own 20, and the offense will be coming out on the field. Past couple drives really didn't result in much for Middle Creek. We saw a couple overthrown passes and some miscommunication from the offense, but it is still a 7-7 game. So, with an undefeated team like Holly Springs coming in, I'm sure Coach Ragland is, at least happy that his team is staying in this game. So 7-7, 5:16 remaining in the second quarter. And there's going to be a flag called before the play. It looked like Holly Springs might have had a jump too early on that one, as the ref is going to be moving the ball 5 yards ahead. Offsides on the defense, which puts it a 1st and 5 on the 22-yard line. So Middle Creek in an easier position here, as Darius Boone and Therius Suggs, along with Tate Jones, the receivers at the bottom of your screen. Jamori Ellis at the top. Cole Prenovo behind Sean Brown. And a timeout is going to be called by Middle Creek, deciding between that play, as we will be right back with the Sports Block. Welcome back to the Sports Block as the Middle Creek offense beginning their drive. A 1st and 5 after the Holly Springs offsides. They're positioned at their own 22-yard line with 5:15 remaining in the second quarter, a 7-7 game. Sean Brown and his offense back out on the field. Darius Boone is in motion, but it's going to be handed off to Cole Prenovo. He breaks a couple tackles, another one, and he looked like he was out to the 32 before the tackles started coming in. A very good run by Cole Prenovo, but there was a flag earlier in the play. And the Middle Creek offense looks to be moving back, so a great run there by Prenovo. Doesn't lead to much, as it is going to be a holding on the Mustangs.
Push it back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
And the ball will be placed at the 15-yard line, so it's going to be a 1st and 12 for Middle Creek after the holding, which was after the offsides. So positioned to the 15-yard line now, a 1st and 12. Sean Brown's got 4 wide receivers and Prenovo. It's going to be a play action to Prenovo, and he's attempting to throw that to Darius Boone, but it goes right through his hands. And it looked like he didn't have a really good turn on the ball in that one. And it is dropped. So a 2nd and 12 as we are inside the 5-minute mark of the first half, 4:54. And, you know, we can definitely see the difference in between these two offenses. Middle Creek hasn't been as great. You know, they haven't really done much. They did get a touchdown on the defensive side of things, but a lot of passes where Holly Springs has been the complete opposite. 2nd and 12 here for Middle Creek. It's going to be zone coverage from Holly Springs. Sean Brown's going to try to take advantage of that as he goes to Darius Boone through the middle, but it's going to be dropped. But the referees are going to rule it an incomplete pass. So Darius Boone did not have 3 feet down before the fumble. He did seem to have really good possession of that ball before it was knocked out by that Holly Springs secondary. So a nicely set up play, though, by Middle Creek, and what seemed was going to be a first down, but good play by that Holly Springs defense. Rules it an incomplete pass. So a 3rd and 12 here for Middle Creek. And they've had a couple of these 3rd and longs tonight. Haven't been successful on really any of them. But 4 wide receivers and a running back. As Sean is going to go to Cole Prenovo on the screen, and he's going to have a very open space. Passes the 30, cuts through the middle, takes a big hit, and is down at the 38-yard line. So a very good job by Sean Brown and Cole Prenovo. Those wide receivers ran up the field as the Holly Springs secondary followed it, and Cole was wide open and gets a big play, the biggest play of the night for Middle Creek. Puts them on the 39-yard line, a gain of 24. Snap out to Sean, and it's going to go over to Cole on the left-hand side, and he's going to take a hit. What a tackle by Shane Perry, the senior linebacker and fullback from Holly Springs. Cole took a hit there. And Cole has just been taking one for the team on what seems to be every play. Showing that Mustang effort tonight out on the field. So after the loss of 5 yards, after the phenomenal tackle, it's going to be a 2nd and 15 for the Mustangs on their own 34-yard line. And the referees are going to call another stoppage and another timeout for Middle Creek. So we'll be back with the sports block after this timeout.
Official timeout.
Welcome back to the sports block. As Middle Creek out in the field for a 2nd and 15. 4:18 remaining in the second quarter in a 7-7 ball game. Sean Brown and his offense trying to make a movement up the field here to finish off the half. Sean's going to roll out to his right, and he's going to go for Tate Jones, but he's not going to be able to catch that one as it goes out of bounds, and it's going to be an incomplete pass, which makes it a 3rd and 15 here for Middle Creek. We just saw a long 3rd and 12 for Mustangs, and which resulted in a first down after a great pass to Cole Prenovo. But Deshaun Fort's now out on the field in the running back position as Sean Brown takes a snap, and it's overthrown of Therius Suggs, and Therius and Braden Harrison look to be open there. Excuse me, Tate Jones. Therius Suggs isn't too happy about that one. He was wide open in the middle of the field. Incomplete pass, which will bring out the special teams unit.
Coombs back to receive for the Hawks.
So Derek Coombs back out to receive. He's positioned on that right-hand side of the field. Kyle Ely receives the snap. Punt is high, bounces around the 35-yard line, gets a pretty good roll, and moves to the 26. So a beautiful punt there from Kyle Ely, putting Holly Springs at their 25-yard line inside of 4 minutes in the second quarter as the Holly Springs offense comes out onto the field. Middle Creek did a phenomenal job stopping that last Holly Springs series, in which it couple attempted passes from Holly Springs really wasn't what they were looking for, but some great tackles by Quincy Pugh, Ben Lever, stopped Derek Coombs from getting anything there. But they're back out on the field now and going right back to Coombs to get it started. He's going to break a couple tackles, and he's going to get himself a first down. He has just been splitting through the defensive line like it is nothing as he moves the chains in very easy fashion.
Taken out by number 23, Nashawn Biggs.
So Holly Springs is now at the 37-yard line, 1st and 10. As this clock has just been ticking down whenever Holly Springs is on the field. This running-based offense just ticks down that time and doesn't allow their opponents to do much on the offensive side of things. Wills is going to toss it to his left to Coombs, and he's going to be taken down by Luke McDonald, a phenomenal tackle there. A great tackle by Luke McDonald, and he's had a great night. Obviously, the reason for that Middle Creek score from the scoop and score early on in this game. For those of you coming in, Holly Springs to start off this game had 3 fumbles on the offensive side of things inside of the first 6 minutes of this game, one of those being taken into the end zone by Luke McDonald. And then Holly Springs scored their touchdown after a 99-yard drive, which was finished off by a Derek Coombs touchdown run into the end zone. So a 2nd and 8 here for Holly Springs, as they're trying to get a guy off the field just in time. A little bit of confusion here from Holly Springs, and they're going to call a timeout. With 2:37 remaining in this second quarter, we'll be right back with the Sports Block. Welcome back to the Sports Block, as Holly Springs has a 2nd and 8 here, positioned on their own side of the field with 2:37 remaining in this game. Brock Wills drops back, and he's going to be going deep. And Dylan Waskey isn't able to come up with it as he dives for it at around the 35-yard line. And that's really the first long attempted pass that we've seen from Holly Springs tonight, but it is unsuccessful. Looks like the referees might be making a call. But it is going to be a big 3rd and 8 here. 2:30 remaining in this half. And Middle Creek has done a pretty good job in the second quarter stopping the Holly Springs on 3rd down. As Derek Coombs is behind Wills. 2 wide receivers out wide. As Fraley's in motion, but it's going to be that play action pass. And a fantastic play there. As Jamori Highsmith gets to Wills. And that is a big sack there for Middle Creek.
In comes the punting team.
And that's the 2nd time we've seen that jet sweep play action pass tonight. First time it was dropped by Derek Coombs, and this time a fantastic sack by Highsmith. And puts Holly Springs into a definite punting position, 4th and 18. And Braden Harrison is back to receive the punt. Like I said earlier tonight, he has been phenomenal in this game. One's almost blocked, and it drops around the 45, and it will be stopped at the 36-yard line. So Middle Creek will take over on the offense with 1:41 left to go. They definitely have the time to get some points before this half. The question is, will they have the execution? So Middle Creek has seen more of a passing style game like we expected, but the running game hasn't been bad. Cole Prenovo has done a very good job breaking off some tackles, but they need to get something going here in the first half. They will be receiving in the second half. Holly Springs, or excuse me, Sean Brown back to get the pass, and it's going to be Darius Boone up the middle. He's going to take a big hit, but he comes down with the ball. A big first down and a big gain for Middle Creek. But there's a flag on the play, and this one could be pushed back.
I do see a flag on the far side.
So the flag is positioned on the far side of the field, and it's going to be a false start on Middle Creek. So a big play from the Mustangs is going to be taken back. Darius Boone had a phenomenal catch, and he took a hit from that one. A great pass from Sean Brown. But it's going to be ruled as just a negative gain for Middle Creek. They're going to be pushed back 5 yards. A 1st and 15 now on 31-yard line. So Middle Creek not too happy about that one. Fans and coaches alike, as they are going to have to extend this drive even more. So 1st and 15 for Sean Brown in his offense. They really haven't had any big plays or much going for them tonight. Not a lot of first downs. But they've shown some promise here in these late stages of the second quarter. As Sean Brown drops back, and he's going to be going for Therius Suggs on the right-hand side. He does a very good job getting those feet in out of bounds. And it's going to be a gain of about 12, 13 yards there. Therius Suggs, a great job on the out route, making it a 2nd and 3 at around the 44-yard line. So the clock is ticking down as we're heading into the near final stages of the second quarter, as we're heading into that final minute. Sean Brown still has an offense that's ready to go deep with 4 wide receivers. Cole Prenovo to his right. Sean's going to be going to his left. It's going to be to Owen Harrison, and it's going to be dropped. It was a very quick pass, quick play, but Owen Harrison, it was a little behind him. Looked like kind of a backdoor pass. And it's going to be a 3rd and 2 now for the Mustangs. 55 seconds left to go in the half. So that the Holly Springs crowd on the opposite side of Mustang Stadium is very loud. They're having themselves a jersey night tonight, but a timeout looks to be called by Middle Creek as we head into our final minute, but we will be right back with the Sports Block. Welcome back to the Sports Block as Middle Creek has a big 3rd and 2 here. 55 seconds left in this half. 3rd and 2 placed on their own 44-yard line as they're trying to get some points here on the board before the end of the quarter. Darius Boone's in motion, but it's going to be handoff to Prenovo as he goes to the left-hand side, but tackled, but it did look like he got that first down as he's taken down at the 47-yard line. So after the run there, Middle Creek's going to try to get the play going as that clock is running. As there looked to have been a problem with the play clock, making it seem like Middle Creek was going to have a delay of game. Sean Brown under center, and he's going to spike it, which will stop the clock. So a lot of confusion between the Middle Creek offense, coach, and scoreboard team. So the spike makes it a 2nd and 10 with 43.5 seconds left to go in this half. So 43 seconds, Middle Creek position around midfield, the 2nd and 10. 4 wide receivers. Sean Brown going to his right, and he's going to be going off his back foot to Tate Jones. It's headed out of bounds, so Tate Jones was on that wheel route on the right-hand side, but it is thrown out of bounds, making it a 3rd and 10 for the Mustangs. So couple questionable plays there from Middle Creek. A spike and then thrown out of bounds. We got 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen, 1 at the top on a big 3rd and 10 here. Sean Brown dropping back to pass. He's going to be trying to cut through the middle. He's taken down, and he throws it just before the sack. It's going to be ruled an incomplete pass, but a flag's going to be on the play for intentional grounding.
It's incomplete. It's taken down. We do have a flag on the play. Intentional grounding against the Mustangs.
And the intentional grounding will be called, and the fans and players aren't too happy about that one, as there was a running back just in front of Brown as he threw it into the ground. As the referee showing it off again in front of Coach Randy Ragland, which will be pushing Middle Creek back even more. It will be making it 4th down and long, and will bring out the special teams unit, who is just going to need and a flag's going to be called on Coach Ragland as he was chirping to the refs, and this one's going to push him back even more. So the sideline ref throws a flag onto Coach Ragland after his disagreement with the intentional grounding call, pushing him even back, which was going to give Holly Springs a great opportunity to score in these final minutes. As Derek Coombs, we know the strength he has in the return game. He's going to be positioned around the 25-yard line as Kyle Ely is back to punt. Good and high punt from Ely. Bounces it around the 30-yard line. Gets a great bounce inside of the 20. A phenomenal punt from Kyle Ely, putting Holly Springs into another deep position inside of their own 20-yard line with only 22 seconds remaining in this half. We know with the way Holly Springs plays, there's a lot of chances to get some breakout plays. We've seen Derek Coombs go off for 80-yard touchdowns in previous years. The longest from this season, a 67-yard touchdown from him. But with 22 seconds, they might still try to get a playoff instead of, you might see a kneel from the usual team. So Morgan's in motion. It's handed off to Coombs. He's going to break some tackles and get a gain of about 7 or 8 yards.
Taken down by number 32 and 49.
As the clock is ticking down inside the final 10 seconds, and both teams look to finish off this half. So Middle Creek 7, Holly Springs 7. As we head into the half, obviously been a very back and forth game. Middle Creek scoring on a scoop and score early in this game, and Holly Springs scoring after a phenomenal drive. As we head into our halftime advertisements. A team of board-certified physicians and physical therapists ready to get you back on your feet and back in the game. Carrier Orthopedics, we are experts in motion. The Butcher's Market, the go-to butcher shop in the Triangle for premium meats and specialty grocery. The Butcher's Market. Fritz Orthodontics, offering outstanding orthodontic care for the entire family. Jimmy's Affordable Auto Care, the go place for all Jeep and 4x4 repairs, lift kits, and off-road work. Jimmy's Affordable Auto Care. South Wake Oral Surgery, delivering the finest state-of-the-art oral surgical care possible every day to every patient. And learn more about agriculture, hop on some rides, and enjoy some amazing food now at the North Carolina State Fair, ending on October 27th. And our halftime show is going to be sponsored by Carrier Orthopedics. Serving athletes throughout the Triangle for more than 30 years, an experienced team of board-certified physicians and physical therapists are ready to get you back on your feet and back in the game. Carrier Orthopedics, experts in motion. And we will be back for the second half of this ball game right after this.
You may take the field in performance. Congratulations to the Middle Creek Marching Band for their performance last week. The competition at Clayton High School. Your marching Mustangs.
Mama, can you hear me? I feel like I'm not as loud. It doesn't matter.
He was literally throwing it to a person and as he got it, he didn't even pass. It's
So confusing.
it's just stupid. And then he got a penalty.
That just made no sense.
I love seeing coaches get penalties. It's fun. Hey, you want to be a feature? Want to be a feature for Football. Football. I can interview you on how Guilford's done. How is it doing all freshmen though? You didn't answer my question. Not bad. Just attitude or just skill level? Came over here over summer.
Welcome back to our second half. Our halftime show is sponsored by Care Orthopedics, serving athletes throughout the Triangle for more than 30 years. An experienced team of board-certified physicians and physical therapists are ready to get you back on your feet and back in the game. Care Orthopedics, experts in motion. As we head into our second half, Middle Creek will be receiving the ball, and I'm welcomed by former Middle Creek Mustang Adam Schmidt.
What's up, guys? Glad to be back. I'm excited to watch some football. Ooh, onside kick.
Middle Creek's going to come up with that one. It's Michael Babiak. And they're going to start off with a great field position to start off the second half.
Holly Springs tried to catch them off guard right there, try to see if they were about it. Sure, Middle Creek's ready to get it going from the 50-yard line instead of back on their 20.
So Middle Creek showed some signs of promise ending off the second quarter. Sean Brown's offense is back out on the field. Tate Jones is in motion, and he's going to receive the sweep, and he's going to do a great job getting through the field and makes a great cut and down at the 32-yard line.
That was a great run by Tate, and that was great blocking by the two outside receivers over there.
That's going to be good for Middle Creek.
First time we've seen that play tonight from Middle Creek.
Let's see if they can keep it rolling.
So Middle Creek position on the 32, great field position to start off this half. Brown's going to drop back, and he's going to be going for Darius Boone up the middle, but it's tipped by number 42, Timothy Inman.
That was an extremely clutch tip by number 42, because if that was not touched, that was a touchdown. That was a walk-in touchdown right there.
We have an injured player on the field, Colby Brewington from the offensive line down on the field. So we will take an injury timeout and be right back with the sports block. We're back with Sports Block after the injury timeout. Colby Brewington was able to jog his way off the field, so all is good there. And Middle Creek has a 2nd and 10 on the 32-yard line after a good 18-yard run by Tate Jones. And here looks like to be the same play, but it's going to be a play action. And
ooh,
Kyle Ely right through the middle. He does a great job breaking some tackles, and he's going to be down just by the goal line.
What a great route by Ely right there. Finding the open space right down the middle of the field. What a perfect pass by Sean Brown to fit it between 4 defenders right there.
Yeah, Sean Brown put Ely with that momentum, and they're going to be on the 4-yard line now, looking to put this one in the end zone as it's handed off to Cole Prenovo. Breaks a couple tackles, the referees. And they're going to
call him just short of the touchdown.
So you talk about 2nd and inches right here. Middle Creek right on that goal line. They just want to punch this one in.
Yeah, I'd see them running the same exact play right now, just getting that extra inch.
It's handed off to Prenovo again. He's stuffed by that D-line, but it looked like he might have got an
Touchdown.
extra of one, and he gets the touchdown.
What a way to punch it in right there.
Cole Prenovo looked like he ran into that defensive line, but kind of made a spin off of it, getting that extra yard into the end zone. And Middle Creek takes the lead 13-7. I think a lot of the help from that drive was from the offense, or the offside, or going for that onside kick to start off the half. Put them at the 50-yard line, and a great job through a mixture of some running and passing plays. Gives Middle Creek that touchdown on a very short 1-minute drive to start off this second half.
Yes, I'm sure the Holly Springs coaches right now are thinking to themselves, they probably shouldn't have ran that onside kick. It was great to see the offense rolling.
Definitely, and here comes the extra point attempt. Good hold from Campion White, and this one is right through the uprights for the extra point. So Middle Creek takes a 14-7 lead early in the second half after a great drive. We will be right back with the Sports Block. So after the Middle Creek touchdown, they'll be kicking off to Holly Springs with 10:55 remaining in the third quarter, as Derek Coombs and Dylan Waskey are back to receive the kick. Two dangerous players for the Hawks.
Middle Creek seems to have all the momentum as we go into the third quarter right now. It came out of the halftime right there and punched it right in Holly Springs' face. So let's see how Holly Springs responds right here, their offense.
The Holly Springs offense has been primarily rushing all throughout tonight. We haven't seen much passing from them, and what we've seen hasn't been the best. They've been going to Derek Coombs and Dylan Waskey all night. A lot of fakes and play action passes. Holly Springs coming out in that tight formation that we've seen all throughout tonight. A big O-line with help from some tight ends. First and 10 for the Hawks. It's going to be handed off to Coombs, who's going to split the seam there and get a gain of about 6 or 7. Does a good job getting every extra yard.
Derek Combs, arguably one of the best runners in Wake County right now. He's got to get rolling if Holly Springs wants a chance to win this game right now. It's unfortunate at the beginning of the game for Holly Springs that they just couldn't hold on to the ball in offense. So let's see. Hopefully they probably preached that at halftime because they got to change that in order to win this game.
Definitely. There was just a lot of miscommunication early on this game. It was like a couple of plays Coombs and Waskey ran into each other, and then a couple of botched snaps and fumbles, and this one's going to be handed off to Coombs again. He's going to go out on the right-hand side this time, and he just cannot be taken down as he goes out at the 40-yard line.
Dragging in Middle Creek player after Middle Creek player right there.
Like I said earlier, Coombs, great yards after contact, but there is a Middle Creek player down on the opposite side of the field. But Ben Lever is the injured man, but he's able to walk it off. But it looks like everyone's going to be coming in for a timeout, so we'll be right back with the Sports Block. So we're right back after the short break. Holly Springs, another first down after a great run by Coombs. Coming out in that same formation, Kyle Morgan in motion as it's handed off to Coombs again, and he is just getting a lot of momentum before he's grabbing that ball. Another first down on a 12-yard run puts Holly Springs on the 49-yard line and into Mustang territory.
Middle Creek's defense has got to find a way to slow down Derek Combs right now because he's getting started up right now. If he gets started up, it's going to be extremely hard to stop him.
Definitely, you got to watch out for these 10-yard rushes back and back and back, but also he can break out for a big one, which can be game-changing as well.
Middle Creek's also got to be on the lookout because typically when coaches run these back-to-back-to-back runs, they'll try to trick them and throw a pass.
It's going to be a toss to the left to Coombs, and he's taken down there. A good tackle by Ryan Ward, but there are flags all around after the play.
We have 2 flags on the play.
Looks like it's in the area of holding. Nope, blocking the back by Holly Springs. So that'll put him back a couple yards.
You were just talking about ways to stop Coombs. That was a pretty good tackle there by Andrew Lamb.
That was great, and it was a great job by the entire defense of swarming to the ball. That's what they have to do with a guy like Derek Combs. They have to swarm him. They have to take 2 or 3 guys to get him down.
And I think the Mustangs have done a really good job reading the toss plays. The other plays, not as much, but the toss has been pretty good to read. You know that Holly Springs is just going to be shifting right or left, and they did a great job there. But the block in the back really helps them out. So 1st and 21 here for Holly Springs. As Wills is going to hand it off to Coombs, but he's going to fumble it again. This time, Coombs gets it back right away. His 3rd fumble of the night.
That's his 3rd. That's the 4th of Holly Springs. That stuff is just going to kill them if they don't clean it up.
And this was obviously the first one. The Mustangs weren't able to recover, but still a 0-yard gain.
Yeah, and not only that, it kills momentum of the drive. So now they're doing these 10, 12-yard runs. They just got a 10-yard penalty and a fumble. The momentum's killed. Great opportunity for Middle Creek's defense to step up right here and get them off the field.
So 2nd and 23 now. Morgan's in motion. Handed off to Coombs again. And he's going to be taken down at the 45. A good job by Middle Creek avoiding any big gain.
So it'll be interesting to see what Holly Springs does here because they're extremely committed on the run, but it is 3rd and 15. So I'll be interested to see if they trust Derek Combs enough to get 15 yards or if they try and get desperate and throw a pass.
Definitely. They know he can get 15 yards, but Middle Creek's going to be set up to avoid that at all costs. But the pass game has just been not much to anything for the Hawks tonight.
Absolutely. This is going to be an interesting play because Middle Creek's defense also probably not a good idea on what's going to happen right now.
So 3rd and 16 on the Hawks' own 45-yard line. Only 1 wide receiver out to the bottom. And it's going to be a fake as Wills drops back.
And what a sack by number 27.
Luke McDonald, what a sack. He just came after Wills for a big loss.
That was so critical right there because that sack right there brought them back, 10 yards. So that'll give Middle Creek hopefully some good field position to potentially get some more points.
Definitely. Luke McDonald's had a phenomenal night. Some big tackles, 2 sacks, and a scoop and score for that Mustangs' first points. Holly Springs going to have to punt here as the flag's coming up right before the play, and it's not a very good punt.
It's a short punt. Takes a Holly Springs bounce right around the 35-yard line, pending the flag.
So obviously, you know, Adam, as a former Middle Creek player, how, on the offensive side, how much of an effect do those big flags like blocking the back make to your team early on in the drive?
It's a killer, man. So all offense is, it's a lot of momentum. So once you get those passes going, you're getting the flow, you're going down the field, that's when you score touchdowns. Whenever you get a penalty, it stops your drive right there. It backs you up. It's just a mentality right there. And so that's probably what happened with Holly Springs, because once you get that penalty, once you start moving backwards, when you're trying to move forwards, it just gets in your head. You got to be in the right mindset to be able to score points.
Definitely, and a great job by Middle Creek stopping Holly Springs on their first series of the half. And Sean Brown's offense back on the field on their own 35. Darius Boone is in motion, but it's going to be a handoff through the middle. And it looked like the ball might have come loose of the hands. Number 34, Dorian Stewart.
That was some powerful running right there by Dorian. He got hit near the line of scrimmage and still powered through to get 6 yards.
Dorian had some injuries early on this year, which prevented him being on the field, but, you know, yes, a smaller running back, but he's got a lot of fight, and he's had some very good plays in his Middle Creek career.
Absolutely.
2nd and 4 here after the run by Stewart. On the 41 for Middle Creek. He's got 4 wide receivers wide. Boone in motion again. Sean Brown's going to do a little out route to Therius Suggs. He's going to cut inside and get some extra yards down at the 46, 45-yard line. Great job there.
Great job right there getting yards after the catch. It looked like he was about to get tackled right there at the first down, get close, but he managed to get 10 more yards. And he definitely looks excited about it.
Definitely Therius Suggs. He's been open a lot tonight. You know, a couple times Brown hasn't been able to find him, but he is a game changer. 7 touchdowns on the year for the Mustangs. And you got to watch out for a deep threat as well for Suggs, as Middle Creek is out on their 45. And he's going to go deep to Darius Boone, and he's unable to make the catch, and he gets rocked by DeAndre Partridge.
For Boone across the middle.
And Ragland wants a flag, but that hit was just after the drop pass looked to be clean.
Could have been potentially too early. It would be a defenseless man downfield, or defenseless man. But right there, that ball has got to be caught.
2nd and 10 for your Mustangs.
You know, as a wide receiver, you have to know you got to take one for the team and make that catch, even if a big man is coming right after you. 2nd and 10 here. Brown's dropping back, doing that same play to Therius Suggs.
Great catch right there.
And they rule him out of bounds.
Who's catch? But there's a flag on the play. Roughing the passer on Holly Springs defense, so that'll, no matter what the result of the play, will bring the offense more yards.
So Billy Waldron, the sophomore safety for Holly Springs, going to just add more yards to the play. Middle Creek gets the pass and gets some yards extra on top of it and put it at the 35, as it's actually going to be pushed back a little bit.
But yeah, as a receiver, either way, you're going to get hit. So rather you catch the ball, get hit, and get those yards rather than drop the ball, get hit anyways, and then have to walk back all the way to the line, because that's the worst part right there.
Definitely is. Middle Creek, they've done a good job continuing this drive. They're on the 30-yard line now, 1st and 10.
And this is probably exactly what Middle Creek wanted to do. They wanted to keep the ball on offense, keep the ball away from Derek Combs on Holly Springs' side of the field. Gets the defense on our side some rest, so they're ready to tackle him. And yeah, wind that clock down, as they're only up a touchdown right now, fortunately for Holly Springs, with 4 turnovers.
Boone in motion again. And it's going to be
oh, dangerous pass right there.
Look to Boone, but it's dropped, and that was just a confusing play all around.
We have a flag on the play.
But there is a flag down by where the hit was.
I'm interested to see what this play or what this flag is, because it was thrown after the play. And judging by the reaction from Holly Springs sideline, it's probably not looking good for Middle Creek right now.
Yeah, so Darius Boone was in motion, and it ended up being like a lob pass to Boone, but there was also a wide receiver involved in the play from Middle Creek, blocking out a Holly Springs cornerback, and there was really no opportunity to catch the ball from either side, as the flag is called on Middle Creek.
Call is a block in the back on Middle Creek, so that'll bring it back a couple yards. And this is what I was talking about before, these penalties as you're flowing. It's hard to get over those, but let's see how Middle Creek responds with this play.
And you hate to see the referee just walking that ball back, and it's going to be placed at the 45-yard line, it looks to be, making it a 1st and 25 on the right hash.
That's going to be a replay of 1st down.
So the call looked to be actually offensive pass interference, so that is why it's 15 yards. I don't know who Sean Brown was targeting right there, so I don't know how to agree with that call, but no matter what, it's 1st and 25 at the 45-yard line right now.
So Brown goes to Suggs over the middle. He's got a lot of momentum, gets a great block from Jamori Ellis in a gain. And he looked to be tackled after the play. Fans wanting a roughing call. And
the blocking between the wide receivers and the defense right now seems to be a bit chippy, so looks like the adrenaline's running right now on both sides of the ball.
Definitely Holly Springs, I don't think, expected to be in a position like this.
Absolutely not. They're normally on the other end of the score right now.
Definitely. So a nice 10-yard play there to Therius Suggs makes it a 2nd and 15. As Tate Jones is in motion, but Sean Brown's going to take it himself, and he doesn't get much out of it, a couple yards. So Middle Creek looks to be in the 4-down territory here.
Oh, yeah. 3rd down and 15. I'd expect to see some comebacks on the outside by the receivers. It's one of those plays where Coach Ragland tells his receivers, he's like, find the sticks, turn around and catch the ball and get the 1st down.
So we got 3 wide receivers to Brown's right. That's who he's looking for. As he attempts it to Darius Boone, it gets tipped again by Inman and incomplete. And it's going to be a 4th and 13 for Middle Creek. And this brings up the question, do you punt or go for it? They punted from here early in the 1st quarter, and Ely had a great one right at the 1-yard line.
Well, it looks like they're going to go for it, and I'm interested to see if they run the exact same play, because Sean Brown probably missed it, but he had Tate Jones wide open on this side of the field running a wheel. He got behind the defense. So it looks like they're lining up in trips again.
So big 4th and 13 for Middle Creek on the 33-yard line.
And they run the same play again, and they throw it to
Therius Suggs makes the catch, and he's going to get some extra yards, taken down at the 14, and he gets the 1st.
Great call right there by Coach Ragland to run that exact same play. Find the open receiver. That's a hard play to cover when you got a wheel route coming behind you. Makes the DB choose between who he wants to cover, and Sean Brown threw it to the guy he didn't choose.
A great job there, Therius Suggs, for the extra yards, putting Middle Creek into the Cary Orthopedic red zone on the 14-yard line. As Darius Boone is in motion here.
And that play is broken up immediately by number 22 on Holly Springs, Austin Stroop.
And it looks like there's a Mustang down on the field. And we will take an injury timeout. We'll be right back with the Sports Block. We are back after the injury timeout. Looked to be a cramp as Darius Boone was able to walk off the field, which puts Middle Creek at a 2nd and 10. Excuse me, a 2nd and 14 after the loss of yards there. 2nd and 14 on the 18-yard line. Sean Brown has a lot of wide receivers out on this play. Brown rolls out to his right, and he has got men coming all after him, but he gets the pass off, and Darius Suggs almost gets a one-handed grab, but it's dropped for an incomplete pass.
And Middle Creek is lucky that it was just an incomplete pass. Sean Brown's athleticism showed right there as he got away from a for-sure sack that would have brought them back 15 yards at least.
Yeah, Brown made a pretty good deke getting away from those linebackers. And that kept Middle Creek in field goal range just in case they don't get what they want here on third down.
Yeah, so probably take a shot for the end zone here as they're in field goal range for Kyle Ely. So
3rd and 14. 3 wide receivers to his right. That's who he's looking for. It's Darius Suggs on the screen play. He's going to get every extra yard down at the 10-yard line. And Middle Creek now at a 4th down. They can definitely get a field goal from this range, but they did go for 4th down around here in the first quarter.
4th down for the Mustangs.
And I don't see anybody running the field yet.
As it's a 4th and 7 on the 9. Nearly 4th and goal. And the offense is staying out on the field as we head into nearing the 3-minute mark of this third quarter. This is a big play, 4th and 7 for the Middle Creek offense. Look to have almost drawn some of that Holly Springs defensive line off sides. And that was the goal the entire time as Coach Randy Ragland calls a timeout.
I had a feeling that he wasn't actually going to run a play.
So we'll be right back with the sports block after the timeout.
We went on vacation the same
Welcome back to the sports block. As Middle Creek will have a field goal opportunity, it's going to be a 26-yard attempt from Kyle Ely. And this is a big one. It would make it a 2-score game for the Mustangs. Campion White the holder. Kyle Ely the kicker. The snap is good. The hold is good. And it is a very low kick, but it gets through the uprights.
It looked like the ball got tipped, but Ely put just enough on it to get it over those uprights. Get it in those uprights.
It does not matter how it got through, but it did, and it gives Middle Creek a 17-7 lead.
And with 3 minutes left in the third quarter, Holly Springs has got to start thinking about that time. This is a critical drive for Holly Springs right here. See if they can get some points.
Yeah, they've only had one drive this quarter, and it really didn't go too well. We saw Derek Coombs get shut down. A couple of penalties from Holly Springs weren't the best. Middle Creek took advantage of that. They had a great drive to start off the half with the touchdown, and they've scored on both their drives this quarter, which is good. The efficiency is all you need. We didn't really see any efficiency in the first half. The offense putting a goose egg on the board, but already 10 points from the offense in the second half. Good job by Sean Brown and his offense, definitely.
Ely in to kick off for the Mustangs.
The momentum has been going Middle Creek's way. You know, they're getting into a position where they realize, you know, they can win this game. This is in their hands. They have a 10-point lead in the late stages of the third quarter. They, you know, if you told them this would be the position they're in, they would be extremely happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Good kick from Ely. It's going to be caught by Waskey. He tries to cut through the middle. He's going to break a couple tackles. And it actually looked like he had an opening on the left. And there's going to be a hit after the play.
And a flag was thrown. Like I said before, it's getting a little chippy out there. I don't think Holly Springs likes being down 10 points right now.
And you got to give credit there to Kyle Ely. He definitely made it known to the refs that he got hit.
Absolutely. And on top of that, not hitting back. Hardest thing is to take it and not give it.
And those are the little things in football. You can see his whole team congratulating him on the sidelines. That's a game changer right there.
Absolutely. That's 15 yards if it's a personal foul. Yep.
Against the Hawks.
So that puts them, instead of being on the 25-yard line, they'll probably be around there by the 10, 12-yard line right there.
So a great couple minutes from Ely, knocked in the extra point, then the field goal, and a great kickoff, and then sells off the penalty and drops Holly Springs back 15 yards into a terrible position.
Absolutely, and without even running a play, Holly Springs already got that penalty on offense.
That's what we were just talking about, is they're now positioned at the 12-yard line. We did see a 99-yard drive for them earlier, but it's going to be tough for them to continue that here. It's handed off to Coombs as he gets a lot of momentum. He's eventually taken down, but easy first down there.
Wrapped up by number 9.
Coombs just has so much momentum for every rush attempt that he has.
Seems to make it to the defensive secondary every single time he runs the ball. Middle Creek's defense got to find a way to stop him in the line, stop him at the linebackers. Can't keep getting these 10 yards.
You never want to see your safeties and cornerbacks having to make the tackles on every play.
Absolutely not. Holly Springs has 3 wide this time, though.
Morgan was in motion, but it's handed off to Coombs. And he just trucks 2 Middle Creek defenders.
Looked like he was about to get loose right there. Good job by the defenders holding on for dear life.
As Andrew Lamb and Luke McDonald do combine for the tackle, though, after the 7-yard rush. So it's going to be a 2nd and 3 here for the Mustangs.
Second down and 3.
Excuse me, for the Hawks. As they are.
So a clock stoppage right here by the ref.
Official timeout.
And here we go again.
So the clock starts back up as we get inside 2 minutes of third quarter. 2nd and 3. Wills hands it off to Coombs. And not much, but it's enough for the first down.
Taken down by number 2, Ben Lever. Number 49, Lamb.
Given that Holly Springs has an entire quarter left to play, they don't really have to change their game plan yet. Still got 12 minutes. They can still run the ball as much as they want.
And, you know, yeah, they definitely have enough time. Even with, you know, a running style of offense, they have the time they need. But down by 10, not the position they would have liked. Morgan's in motion. And it's going to be the toss to Coombs. Middle Creek's read this well all night.
Oh.
As Jamori Highsmith kind of slipped on his way to get Coombs, but still not much. A good job by the Mustang defense.
Absolutely. They've been good at that all game long.
So it's a gain of 3 for a 2nd and 7. As there are 3 wide again for Holly Springs. We still have not seen much on the passing game from them tonight. Morgan's in motion again. And it's handed off to Coombs. And he is just going to fight for the first down. And it looked like the Middle Creek D-line was close to almost forcing a fumble on the handoff. They were close to it, but Coombs does a fantastic job and fights for another first.
And from here, it looks like Holly Springs just keeps running the same play over and over and over again. They just keep trying to dress it different ways. And, I mean, when a play's working, why move away from it? Middle Creek's got to find a way to stop that play.
Just that same handoff. Coombs has just been getting so many of the touches tonight as he continues to do
Here's
so.
another one, and he runs right up the middle of Middle Creek's defense and gains about 20 yards right there. And it was only a matter of time before he broke one loose.
And Derek Coombs is starting to come together. We saw 3 fumbles from him. We've seen 3 fumbles from him in this game. It wasn't a pretty start, but he has just been phenomenal as this game is continuing to going on.
Which it's very fortunate for Holly Springs. They're only down 10 points at this time.
Definitely. And it's handed off to Coombs again. And it is just, the D-line isn't making any impact at all. He is not too quick. Going to be a gain of about 5 or 6 there for Coombs.
And credit for Holly Springs OL, because they've been working all night on getting those blocks, and it looks like they're getting to the second level of the defense every single play.
And yeah, Coombs can't do anything without a strong O-line.
Absolutely not.
So a 2nd and 4 as we head into our final seconds of the third quarter. And it looked to be offsides there for Middle Creek, so it might be a free play here from Coombs as he runs into his own teammate, but he just stays on his feet for extra yards. There's no flag on the play, and we head to the end of the third quarter, and we have our third quarter advertisements here. A team of board-certified physicians and physical therapists ready to get you back on your feet and back in the game. Carrier Orthopedics, we are experts in motion. The Butcher's Market, the go-to butcher shop in the Triangle for premium meats and specialty grocery, the Butcher's Market. Fritz Orthodontics, offering outstanding orthodontic care for the entire family at Fritz Orthodontics. Jimmy's Affordable Auto Care, the go-to place for all Jeep and 4x4 repairs, lift kits, and off-road work at Jimmy's Affordable Auto Care. South Wake Oral Surgery, delivering the finest state-of-the-art oral surgical care possible every day to every patient. And learn about the agriculture, hop on some rides, and enjoy some amazing food now at the North Carolina State Fair, ending October 27th. We will head into our fourth quarter and be right back with the Sports Block.
You ready?
Welcome back to the Sports Block as we head into the fourth quarter. Holly Springs has had a great drive starting from their own 12-yard line. Derek Coombs seems to be getting every single touch. 1st and 10 here for Holly Springs. And it continues as Coombs just gets another run, and he's taken down at the 15-yard line with some help from Quincy Pugh at the end of the play. 7-yard gain there for Coombs, putting Holly Springs into the red zone. So 2nd and 3 here for Holly Springs. They've had a great drive. Like I said, Coombs just rushing what seems to be every play. And it does not stop here as Coombs fighting his way for extra yards, taken down at the 6-yard line. A first down and a goal opportunity here for the Hawks.
And a critical moment right here to see if Holly Springs can punch it in, make this a 3-point game.
Ball on the 7.
As it has been, Derek Combs this entire drive. He has gotten every single yard from the 12-yard line.
And again, 3 wide receivers, but it doesn't matter. It's Coombs
once again
short this time of the goal line marker. But I don't think that's going to be stopping Holly Springs from going back to him again, as they're only a couple yards away from the end zone and 7 points.
And Holly Springs defense is getting a lot of rest on the sideline over there, so our offense on Middle Creek has got to come out punching after this drive.
2nd and goal on the 3. Wills takes a snap, hands it off to Coombs again, and he is in the end zone. Touchdown, Holly Springs. And I think it's safe to say that was an 88-yard drive of 88 yards from Derek Coombs.
Absolutely. So I'm sure after that drive, the entire Middle Creek's defense is going to be on that bench trying to figure out how to stop that one guy.
We know they're going to have to stop him again.
Absolutely.
Holly Springs is going to be back on the field in the late stages of this game, as the extra point is low but makes it through the uprights, making it 17-14 with 10:30 remaining in the fourth quarter. We will be right back with the Sports Block.
And welcome back to the Sports Block for this exciting game right now. It is 17-14, 10:30 left in the fourth quarter. This is a critical drive for Middle Creek's offense, as Derek Combs is obviously fired up right now. He's working right now on that offensive side. But if Middle Creek keeps scoring touchdowns on our side of the ball, it doesn't matter what he does, as we're up 3 right now. And this game has huge implications for later playoff picture. So big quarter coming up right here for Middle Creek.
So Holly Springs went for kind of a mixture between a regular kickoff and a squib, but Macaluso takes the fair catch at the 34-yard line, so decent field position already for Middle Creek.
Once again, and we'll see if Middle Creek can get going. They've had good field position all night given by Holly Springs.
Definitely. 3 fumble recoveries and an onside kick recovery. Sean Brown's offense has always been on a good side of the field. This one's handed off to Dorian Stewart, and he's not going to get much out of this one. Never seemed to be running in a positive gain.
And it looked like a great track down by number 22, Austin Strube. He wasn't even in the picture, and then he just popped up out of nowhere and made that tackle.
So a 2nd and 9 here for Middle Creek. I think it's a mixture of they want to continue this drive, get first downs, but they also want to take some time off the clock. But I think they need to focus on getting those downs. Sean Brown drops back, going to the left, and right through the hands of Jamori Ellis.
That is a catch you just have to make. Looked like the timing was just a little off. The ball looked like it got there a little bit too early. But, man, was that a critical catch. It would have been a first down near the 50-yard line, if not more, because he had running room. But instead, it's 3rd and 10 from their own 38.
Yeah, I mean, Ellis did a great job getting away from the secondary, but wasn't ready for that pass in time. It makes it a crucial 3rd and 9 here for Middle Creek. Sean Brown looking from the signal from Coach Ragland as the play clock enters 3. Brown drops back, going through the middle to Kyle Ely.
And he hangs on to the ball. What a catch by Kyle Ely right there. That's called a possession man right there, where the coach knows he trusts his wide receiver to make that catch no matter what. And with that catch, brings a Middle Creek first down, and what a huge play by number 11, Kyle Ely.
And we were talking last quarter about, you're going to take a hit, you got to catch that ball.
Absolutely.
And that was exactly a great representation of that. Kyle Ely showing his dominance for the Mustangs again. He has been one of the best players on the field tonight.
And most reliable as well. Haven't seen a drop on his end yet.
So Sean Brown's going to take this one on himself.
Looked to be a little confusion in the backfield right there on what the play was.
He's going to get 4 yards out of it, but fumble was looking like it could have happened there. Brown holding the ball out with one hand, as it seemed like it was going to be a handoff to Dorian Stewart, but he took it for himself. And the clock continues to tick down inside of 9 minutes now. That first down was huge for the Mustangs. So 2nd and 5 here on their own 48-yard line.
Middle Creek lines up in no rush as they have 9 minutes.
And a good play. It looked like he was going to go to Ely, but he handed off to Dorian Stewart. To Sean Fort.
Falls just short of the first down, brings up another big 3rd down. 3rd and about 2.
A great run from Deshaun Ford. We haven't seen him on the field much tonight, but that was a big 4 or 5 yard gain there. It puts him at a 3rd and 1 position, keeps this clock running. And with Cole Prenovo on the field, that's a trustworthy running back to get a yard that they need. So they can go for that, or they have 4 phenomenal wide receivers out wide. Prenovo's going to be the option, and he does a great job breaking through the middle. And down at the 30-yard line, a gain of 18.
And that is what Middle Creek needed right there, is those sparks on 3rd down. And you have to be able to, you have to have such a good run game that you can trust that he's going to get the first down 3rd and 1. And not only did he get the first down, but he got an extra 25 yards off of that and an extra set of downs.
Yeah, and on, plays where you only need a couple yards, it seems like you might go through the middle to inch out every yard of that, but he took the outside route, realizing everyone committed to the middle, got 18 yards out of it. A big play for Middle Creek, putting them on the 31-yard line.
Big play, and what a great group effort by the OL right there, moving all of those big DL on the Holly Springs end to open up that extremely wide lane.
Brown drops back to pass. Going to Jamori Ellis. This one goes through his hands again.
In his hands and through the defense ends. That almost an interception if the DB was ready for it. And that's why we can't have those drops, because if those drops go through those hands, the ball's not down. The ball's still flying. DBs can easily intercept that, and that's a whole different ball game right here.
So Jamori Ellis isn't able to make the catch and also takes a big hit from senior Chase Honeycutt on Holly Springs. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 for Middle Creek again. Deshaun Fort back out on the field in the running back position for Middle Creek. Play action from DeFort, but it's going to be
drops again.
That's the 4th time tonight, Jamori Ellis.
And the look on Ragland's face right now just says it all.
That's a good play call with great execution. Brown did a good job. The O-line avoided Brown from getting hit.
He had the running lane as well. He's just got to make that catch. Shows something's in his head right now. He's got to get out of it right now.
And a timeout will be called to regroup for Middle Creek.
And the frustration is visibly seen on the sideline right now as they come into a huddle.
We will be right back after the timeout with the Sports Block. We are back with the Sports Block. A big 3rd and 10 here for Middle Creek. 7-11 remaining in this 4th quarter. Middle Creek with that 17-14 lead. A big 3rd down here for Sean Brown as he drops back, looking to his right. And it's going to be Therius Suggs through the middle. He makes a phenomenal catch.
And what a great play call right there. He had 3 receivers to the right. All 3 just found space and stopped at the sticks. And what a great catch right there, knowing you're about to get hit, and you still manage to hang on and catch the ball.
And that's not the first time we've seen this play tonight. Therius Suggs on those 10 to 15 yard just out and back. And he's done a good job getting some extra yards after that, putting Middle Creek on the 19-yard line and into the Cary Orthopedic red zone.
And this is exactly what Middle Creek wanted to do. They've had 3 big 3rd downs, 3 for 3 on all of them. They've ran a lot of time off the clock, and they're in the position to finalize it right now.
And a pretty solid run there by Deshaun Fort, inching out every yard for a 4-yard gain. The small running back making big plays here on this drive for Middle Creek.
And especially with the field position right now Middle Creek has, you got to be thinking about the time right now if you're on Holly Springs, and especially if you're on Middle Creek. I don't expect to see any conservative play calling right now, but I do know, I'm sure that that play clock will be in the single digits by the time they call a play.
Tate Jones is in motion, but Sean Brown's going to take it for himself, and he's going to deke a couple defenders and go down at the 15. Smart play. He was about to get rocked.
Mm-hmm. Definitely smart for the quarterback to go down. You don't want to risk anything, especially late in the game.
And also, although it's only a gain of 1, it keeps the clock running. 5:40 remaining in this game. Middle Creek, they realize they're in a scoring position, but they also can run out the time in this game. But they got to make sure a touchdown is the goal here, because we know what Holly Springs can do. So a big 3rd and 6 here on the 15-yard line. Deshaun Ford still on the field. Wide receivers on each side of the play. As the play clock is inside of 5 seconds. Brown drops back. It's going to be going deep to his right. It's going to be Therius Suggs. And, he almost had an OBJ catch, but it gets away from him.
Looked like there was a little bit of contact before the play, but nothing was called. Looked pretty clean. And now Middle Creek stuck with the decision. 4th and 6. They're only up by 3. So they need a touchdown to go up by 2 possessions. They can kick a field goal right now, but only go up by 6 and risk having the extra point by a touchdown on Holly Springs decide the game. Looks like right now they're going to take some extra time to think about it as the offense stays on the field.
Holly Springs hasn't been too reliant on their kicker this year, so them going for a field goal to end up tying a game isn't really what you would expect, but they're going to continue thinking about it as a timeout will be called by Middle Creek And with 5:05 remaining in the fourth quarter, we will be back with the Sports Block. Welcome back to the Sports Block. And it looks like it's going to be the kicking unit coming out for an attempted field goal. Kyle Ely. Middle Creek up 17-14. This could be big.
And I understand the decision. Going up by 6 basically forces Holly Springs to go the entire length of the field and score a touchdown. It leaves a field goal off the option, and with 5 minutes left and Holly Springs type of offense, where it's run the ball, it'll be a very, very exciting ending here.
So a 32-yard attempt from Kyle Ely. Snap from Barlow. White with the hold. It is a good kick, and it is through the uprights. Kyle Ely, he has been money.
What a great kick right there, and what a way to put your team up 6 with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
A 20-14 lead for the Mustangs. And we will be right back with the Sports Block. Welcome back to the Sports Block as we are inside of the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Middle Creek leads 20-14 after the 32-yarder from Kyle Ely.
And what an exciting game right now. 5 minutes left. Holly Springs down by 6, has the ball. And even if they score a touchdown here to tie it up, they still have to make that extra point kick to win the game. But let's see if the amount of rest that the offense just gave Middle Creek's defense will pay off, and they found a way to stop Derek Combs.
It's a strong kick from Ely, but Coombs is going to return it. He's going through that right hash. Luke McDonald takes him down at the 32-yard line.
And it's easy to tell that Derek Combs is a great running back because not only is he powerful when he runs, but I heard somewhere you can always tell a good running back by the way he falls after a play. Derek Combs, 100% of the time, falls forward, gains that extra inch that he needs. But when it comes down to third and inches, those inches are really, really important, and that's what makes a great running back. So let's see if Middle Creek has found a way to stop this guy.
Yeah, Coombs has just been getting every extra yard that he can. And he's going to need that this drive. And
he almost breaks it out right there, too.
That one was actually number 8, Dylan Waskey. And we didn't see Waskey get a snap on the entire last drive, so them going to him there was a little different. But it is a gain of 6, and we are ticking inside of 4.5 minutes in this game.
Derek Combs in the backfield.
Morgan's in motion. Handed off to Coombs. He's breaking tackles left and right.
And he's still up, and he's going down the field right now. This is what we did not want as a Middle Creek defense.
And Coombs goes out to the 40-yard line. He had 4 Mustangs on him, and he can't be taken down.
Somehow managed to keep his balance. Even after 4 guys got his feet, managed to get 35 yards on that play. And that puts a lot less pressure on Holly Springs offense because they don't have to rush anything now as they just basically cut the field in third.
A big play by Derek Coombs and Holly Springs on the 40-yard line. And the Mustangs are getting their student section riled up as this one's going to Coombs again. And he's just going to break through the middle, gets a pass, more Middle Creek defenders. He cannot be taken down as he goes down to the 15, a 25-yard rush.
Looks exactly like the play we just saw. Middle Creek has got to find a way to get penetration in that middle of the line and cause Derek Combs to rethink his route, because he just keeps running the exact same way he ran before. Probably going to see it right here as well. Let's see if Middle Creek can find a way to get by those OL and tackle this guy, because this is exactly what Middle Creek did not want to happen, and have Derek Combs just run all the way down the field. And
it's going to be a flag. Looks to be an offsides. I think Middle Creek is trying to get every second they can to take down Coombs.
And they were just a little bit early right there as they're called for offsides.
They realize they can't take him down on a regular snap. They're trying to get the extra jump that they need, but it's going to be a 1st and 5 on the 10-yard line.
With 3:30 left in the game.
And Holly Springs went down the field so fast where if they do score, Middle Creek will have some time.
Yes, luckily for Middle Creek that if Holly Springs does score, they scored so quick that their offense will have another chance, pending the extra point.
Morgan's in motion, hands it off to Coombs. It is just too easy for him as he goes down at the 3-yard line. It's just so natural to Coombs. It just seems like he's not even trying out there.
Looks like he's jogging out there, to be honest with you. His strides are so long. He's such a big guy. It's getting really hard for our defense to stop him. And with the help of those big OL as well.
So Holly Springs wants to use every second on this play clock, with 20 seconds on the play clock remaining as we enter inside of 3 minutes. 1st and goal on the 3-yard line. Both teams know the situation at hand. Morgan's in motion. It's going to be handed off to Coombs. And
it looks like he got stopped just short of the end zone. No signal yet. And he will be just short of the end zone. On probably the half-inch line right now.
So a good stop for Middle Creek, but a play like that might be beneficial towards Holly Springs, taking another 30 or 40 seconds off the clock. Middle Creek needs every second they need, and they're going to be taking this one down and down as we enter 2 minutes and 10 seconds in the 4th quarter.
And as Middle Creek right now, I'm thinking, let them score.
You know, they could just take a knee for all they want. Continue down this clock, and a timeout's going to be called by Holly Springs with 1:58 remaining in the 4th quarter. We will be right back with the Sports Block.
Right now, all the way, bring it down to the 22nd. Call it timeout. That would impact Holly Springs. There's 2 minutes left, and they have a 2nd down on the inch-yard line. With a guy, they could kneel it every time, get 40 seconds off, run it on 4th down, risking it, but if you're confident, and a guy who's been averaging 40 yards per freaking run, I mean, and that's the freaking season then. That's the season. Unless Derek Combs gets hurt.
Yeah, I don't know how strong of a team they would be with him.
They wouldn't be a team.
Welcome back to the Sports Block as we are getting into the crucial final minutes here of the game. Middle Creek up 20-14, but Holly Springs is right on the goal line.
Absolutely, and about this time we might as well just call it Derek Combs, because he's been the star of the show the 2nd half. He's making up for his 3 fumbles in the 1st half in this game. Let's see if he can punch it in. I'm excited to see what Holly Springs does here as their quarterback is under center.
And it's going to be a quarterback sneak
into the end zone for Holly Springs.
Touchdown Hawks, making it 20-20, and not what we expected there. You know, you might have wanted them to run off some more clock, knowing Derek Coombs could score, but they guaranteed their touchdown with 1:55 remaining in the 4th.
And probably the biggest play that we have here is this extra point kick. Let's see if they can get there and block it.
This is huge to take the lead. The kicker looked to make a
And it's in. It looked to be a little disoriented at the beginning. Yes, the kicker moved a little bit early. But Holly Springs is up by 1 with around 2 minutes left. So this is that time in every day in practice where offense practice those 2-minute drills. So let's see if that practice pays off.
You talk about what you work on in practice, what you work on in your life. You know, these are must-win games. You know, Middle Creek, we know, I think everyone knows the playoff picture for the Mustangs relies on a win tonight. You know, with the 5-3 record, they cannot drop any more games this season. Obviously, Holly Springs doesn't have that worry at a 7-0, but they want to keep that undefeated record. They have the lead now, but Middle Creek has 1:55 to work with. We've seen them in situations like this before. We've seen them succeed. We've seen them fail. Middle Creek's going to need a lot of help. A kickoff return, you know, getting some yards, getting out to the 30-40 yard line could be big. Anything can help on a drive like these. Penalties could be big factors. Obviously, Adam, you know the most of anyone.
And the key right now is that playoff picture. So the way the playoffs work is going to be the top 2 teams, most likely in the SWAC, are going to make it. And so if Middle Creek drops this game, they lose 3 games in the conference. And so it'll be extremely hard, if not impossible, to make the playoffs at that point if Holly Springs keeps rolling in the conference like they are.
So Holly Springs goes for a chip shot kind of kickoff, and Owen Harrison comes down with it. He takes the fair catch, avoiding any fumbles or turnovers, and they'll be placed at the 26-yard line. And obviously down by 1, Middle Creek only needs a field goal, but they want to guarantee a position like that late in this game, and they need to score big. Brown to Jamori Ellis, and he's going to make a catch. We haven't seen that all second half, and he's going to stretch out for a first down.
And that's what you need, and they got to run this hurry-up offense, this 2-minute drill. You got to get 10, 12 yards every single play. And what a way for Jamori Ellis to get out of his head, catch that ball when he needs to the most.
So reset of the change. So Brown's dropping back. Going to be going to the left. Jamori Ellis makes a great turn.
Oh, and you got.
He drops this one.
That is not what you want to see right there. That was a guaranteed catch. Ball was a little low, but definitely catchable. Bounced off both of the hands. Almost picked off as it bounced up right in front of a Holly Springs defender, and that would have just been a crucial interception right there.
We just saw Ellis make a catch thinking those nerves would be going away, but he drops that one. 2nd and 10 here. Brown drops back, goes to Ellis again.
And he drops the ball again. They tried to run that screen.
That's 6 drop passes this half.
It's one of those days. Everyone has one of those days. This might just be Jamori's day.
Third down for your Mustangs.
And this is 3rd down now. Obviously, Middle Creek's going to be going for it in 4th down territory. They're going to be passing. They still rely on all their receivers. There's a lot of options here. Brown drops back, looking to his right. He's going to be rolling out to his right. He's not going to get rid of it. He tries to go to Ely, and he's going to be hit at the last second, but incomplete pass.
And I don't know, that was a late hit out there. Hit the ground outside and got destroyed on the end. Tough break for Middle Creek right there. It's 4th and 10. This is the game right here.
This is the game. This is the Holly Springs undefeated record. This is the Middle Creek playoff picture.
As this would be the first time Middle Creek ever misses the playoffs.
This is the season.
This is huge.
4th and 10, 1:27 remaining. Middle Creek needs 10 yards.
You can feel it in the stadium right now, too.
Brown drops back, looking to his left, going through the middle.
And he catches it. And what a great catch by Jamori Ellis. Way to get out of his head, make the catch when he needed to the most, and keep this drive alive and Middle Creek's hopes alive to score this touchdown. Because all Middle Creek needs is a field goal, and we have a very strong kicker, Kyle Ely.
Brown drops back. Goes
and
to
he
Ellis
goes right
again.
back to Jamori.
What a catch.
All right. Someone's confidence has been found, and they're rolling with it right now. That's another first down with Jamori.
And I think Middle Creek and Mustang Stadium knows what's going on. I haven't heard them this loud all season.
Coach Ragland's bouncing on the sideline. Everyone's standing up.
And the referees blow the whistle. A timeout called from Holly Springs. And with under a minute remaining, we will be back with the Sports Block. We are back with the Sports Block. Under a minute remaining. Mustang Stadium is going. 2 big catches by Jamori Ellis. He was having a rough night, but he's back.
Absolutely. I'm very intrigued to see what the play calling is like now because they are only down by 1. With such a strong kicker like Kyle Ely, you don't want to risk anything too much as you don't need a touchdown.
1st and 10 on the 37. Brown drops back, looking to his right, now to his left. And he's going to be going deep. It's Jamori Ellis getting away from his defender.
And it's just out of bounds. He had Jamori Ellis open in the end zone.
Ellis did a phenomenal job hesitating his defender, getting open, just overthrown by Brown.
And that would have been a crazy play if that was made. But Sean Brown getting pressured in the pocket, off-balance throw. Throw is probably not going to be that accurate. It's just a couple yards out of bounds.
Middle Creek, 2nd and 10 on the 37 again. Barlow calling out the defensive strategy. Brown drops back. Goes over the middle. It's Jamori Ellis making another catch.
And a great catch by Jamori Ellis. Goes down to the 15-yard line. Middle Creek Stadium is rocking right now as they are in field goal position with 46 seconds left on the clock. Jamori Ellis, I said he was having a day, but he's making the crucial catches when he has to make the catches. And Middle Creek spikes the ball to stop the clock. 44 seconds left. 2nd and 10 from Holly Springs' 18-yard line.
And this has been a phenomenal drive. You got to give a lot of the credit to the O-line. Brown has had a lot of time. Brown has done a very good job on these passes. And Jamori Ellis, he's back.
And once again, making the plays when you need to make the plays, when it counts.
2nd and 10 after the spike. Middle Creek on the 18-yard line with 45 seconds to go. Brown drops back. He's going to be scrambling, trying to go through the middle. He breaks away from the defenders. And he got a wide open.
He
cuts to the outside, and he's got an opening into the end zone.
He's going to dive in the end zone.
Touchdown!
And he is in. Is he in? He's in the end zone. Middle Creek scores a touchdown with 34 seconds left on the clock. That puts them up 5, pardon me. Middle Creek Stadium is going absolutely insane. Holly Springs looks stunned. And what a drive by Middle Creek right there when they needed to do it the most.
And the Liberty commit, Sean Brown, with the play of his career. He scrambled away from the Holly Springs defender, cut through the middle, ran to the outside. What a touchdown.
From what looked like a sack turned into a touchdown, and a way to cut it outside as well, not get tackled inside.
Middle Creek going for the extra point, knowing that Holly Springs has missed some extra points this year from their kicker. It's a high snap, but a good hold by Campion
and a
White.
Flag.
And Mustang Stadium still very loud after the play. A false start on the offense will push the play back 5 yards. And Kyle Ely will be pushed back 5 more yards onto the extra point.
So Middle Creek now feeling a little bit more confident than they did 2 minutes ago, for sure. But on the Holly Springs side, now they got to do something they're not normal to do. They have to pass the ball.
So a 25-yard extra point attempt from Kyle Ely. Looked like there might have been an offsides there from Holly Springs. And this one is through the uprights, making it a 6-point lead, 27-21.
Oh my. And a big drive for Middle Creek, not only for this game, but for the season. It keeps the season alive. It keeps their playoffs hope alive for right now. But what Middle Creek's defense needs to do is to not give up the big play. That's the only thing. Derek Holmes can get 20 yards. That's all they need. Middle Creek, as long as they stop him from making a big play, they will walk out of this game with a W. And I'm excited to see if Holly Springs keeps with the run, because they haven't thrown this game. They haven't thrown the entire game. It's not their offense. And so a running offense is not the offense you want to have when you're down 6 points with 30 seconds left and 1 timeout remaining.
So 34 seconds. Holly Springs needs a touchdown to continue this game, needs the extra point to win this game. Every play matters.
And if I'm Kyle Ely right now, all I'm thinking is don't kick it out of bounds. If he kicks it out of bounds, Holly Springs gets it at their 40 instead of wherever the ball lands. So he's been great all day. Let's see if he can just get one more great kick out of him. And everyone is on their feet right now. Student section is going crazy.
Middle Creek season was on the line. They went to 4th down.
And a great kick by Kyle Ely to put it in the back of the end zone. What a great kick to eliminate Derek Combs from making a big play on the kickoff return. So with 34 seconds left, Holly Springs will have minimal chances to try to put this 80 yards into the end zone.
And they need every single one of those 80 yards. We know Coombs fights out for every yard, but 80 in half a minute, it's going to be a tough task.
It's going to be a tough task for a running offense, so let's see if they pass it. I'd be interested to see if Derek Combs is lined up in the backfield. It looks like he is.
So Kyle Morgan, the tight end, we haven't seen much of him tonight.
We have not seen a spread offense, and they're going to pass the ball.
Will's left. He has no one to get to, and Andrew Lamb just can't make the tackle, and it will stop the clock with 27 seconds remaining.
So 7 seconds run off the clock for 0-yard gain for Holly Springs. That's not what they wanted.
It was a good job by Wills making sure he got out of bounds.
Absolutely.
But we have not seen much passing from Holly Springs tonight. They're not accustomed to it. And in situations like these, not 2-minute drills, but 30-second drills, you have to be able to pass.
Right, and I'm surprised Derek Combs is still in the backfield because,
And it's going to be an incomplete pass intended for John Fraiolo.
Little miscommunication right there between the quarterback and the wide receiver. I'm very surprised Derek Combs is not spread out wide. As their most reliable offensive player right now, you'd want him down the field catching the ball. I'm interested to see what they do on 3rd down with their undefeated season on the line.
Yeah, it is more than just Middle Creek's playoff picture on the line. Holly Springs 7-0. This has been a phenomenal start for the Golden Hawks this year. And
everyone is spread out wide. What I was saying, Derek Combs is out. And a fumble. And it is in the end zone. Middle Creek gets the ball and basically secures their win against Holly Springs.
Middle Creek recovers on the 2-yard line with 16 seconds left. And the Mustangs have sealed it.
27-21. Mustangs will probably knee it out. What a way to get redemption, as Holly Springs came in here last year and beat Middle Creek 21-14. So it must be a great feeling not only beating an undefeated Holly Springs team, but redeeming the team from last year on your home field. And as Holly Springs fans walk out of the stadium, it's a great feeling here at Middle Creek.
The Creek Crazies are loud. Mustang Stadium is living. 27-21. Sean Brown is most definitely going to kneel this one out.
And what an exciting quarter it has been here at Middle Creek Stadium, Mustang Stadium.
We saw everything this quarter.
Everything from 4th down with your season on the line, Holly Springs having little hope, scoring a touchdown, and then Middle Creek responding with such a beautiful drive. And then Middle Creek defense standing up when they needed to. May not have been the best game for them, but when it counted, they stood up and got Holly Springs off the field.
Derek Coombs was dominant on the field tonight, by far the best player on the field. But Middle Creek has to look at some players that help their team win. I think obviously Luke McDonald was phenomenal on the defensive side of things. Sean Brown had a phenomenal drive and a great touchdown to cap off this game. But Jamori Ellis at the end, it seemed like all was down for him. He had dropped 6 passes. He makes 3 catches for some big yards in the final drive. One of them on a 4th down play. And Middle Creek ends up winning the game with help of their defense at the end, 27-21, knocking off Holly Springs' undefeated season. The Mustangs will be 6-3 on the year and move their conference record to 500, where Holly Springs will drop to 7-1 and 3-1 in conference.
And what a fortunate event for Middle Creek, as their playoff hopes have just been expanded. So it is exciting to keep that alive, and so your season isn't downhill from here, it's uphill from here. And hopefully they make all the necessary changes they need from this game to not make it so close, as they're going through a bye week. And I would be so excited to be a Middle Creek football player right now.
Definitely. Like you said, Middle Creek going into a bye week, they have time to rest. We will see you guys back on November 1st at South Garner, or against South Garner here at Mustang Stadium, so Middle Creek can keep their season alive. But to finish off this game, we have our great advertisers, a team of board-certified physicians and physical therapists ready to get you back on your feet and back in the game. Carry Orthopedics. We are experts in motion. The Butcher's Market, the go-to butcher shop in the Triangle for premium meats and specialty grocery. The Butcher's Market. And Fritz Orthodontics, offering outstanding orthodontic care for the entire family at Fritz Orthodontics. What a game from myself, Charlie Reeder, and
Adam Schmidt.
And we will see you guys back November 1st against South Garner for senior night. Have a good night.